All right. We are live. I'm here with George. You guys can't see George. So, George, do me a favor and talk and see if they can hear you.
Hello, my name is George.
So, everybody,
I am not an AI.
let me know
IA.
if you're if you can hear George. If not, I got another button I can press. But you should be able to hear him, I think. So,
Yeah,
welcome
they
to
can.
Wild Friday.
Wow, Friday. So I just want to interject and say that I was calling this the summer of hell for crypto. And everybody's like, you're an idiot.
Well,
You're an idiot.
it wasn't the summer of hell today.
But no, I'm just telling you, this ain't over with. We're just getting ready.
You you need to look at the board because today some things went
Yeah, but people got
off.
out. I guarantee people got out yesterday.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I
We'll
don't know.
find out. I
We'll
think we're gonna
definitely.
find out. We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna see what's what and
I
who's
am an
who and
IA. I'm an IA. 26336. Let's see how Hut did. Hut was up 11%.
and it was up 15% most of the day.
Bitfarm.
Everything dropped at the last like 1 minute of the day.
Bitfarm was up 1.74%.
Yeah, and it was up it was up like it was at $1.20 like with 2 minutes left in the day, and it closed at
CleanSpark was up 0.26.
Yeah, those two were Bitfarms and CleanSpark lagged behind. There were some that were actually in the red, but on the other side, Cypher today was up 22.5%, and that was basically its low on the day.
Are you serious? Wow. 22.49%. You lied. You said 22.5.
Oh, sorry, I lied by one
Yeah.
hundredth.
Yeah.
I don't think I lied.
That's
I think that's called
insane.
rounding.
Does anybody have Cypress? That's what I want to know.
I do.
Do you?
It's a small position for me, though.
I have.
Wish I had 10 times what I have.
I'm at my new house and I don't have a camera. My wife says I need to find my old camera. So she's like, "You're not buying another camera." And yes, she's the boss. I'm not the boss.
I'm willing to guess you will have a camera sooner than later.
Yeah, by next time. Oh, and a great interview with the new COO. Very happy. I just hired a COO.
Oh, nice.
Yes, very happy. Nice guy. Nice guy.
Excellent. Well, that's good.
Yeah, Kudab is going to be a thing finally.
Alex.
So anyways,
I'm just going to read Alex. He put in a special note. Happy Father's Day weekend to all here and members. Fondly, the one's gone. Thankfully, no more ties. No more ties for Father's Day?
Yeah, he don't. That's what he's saying, or maybe he doesn't wear any ties.
Ties aren't. I guess that's not a thing anymore. I mean, I really don't wear ties. Weddings and funerals. I used to have to wear a tie every single day for decades.
I think anymore. I'm gonna start dressing nicer too. By the way, I'm gonna start wearing like a shirt and tie every day.
Should we go to ties? I can't wear a tie. I tried one time to do a video in a tie, and it just looked ridiculous.
Does it? Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it once for fun.
Right.
See if people freak out.
How much do you own? A lot of Cypress?
No, I don't. It's like my second smallest position out of the Bitcoin miners. It's I have a couple of miscellaneous positions that I just keep on there because they're on my radar. So I never really got into filling that position at all. And the other one I haven't gotten into filling yet and it did pull back today. I was I'll tell you, I bought two things today, so I'll tell you what those are later. But I'm very, very interested in Stronghold, so I'm going to do a poll on that one.
Really?
And see if I'm alone.
Why? What has changed your conviction on it?
I'm going to do the poll first, and then can we come back to that answer? And then I'll give you my thoughts on what's going on was strong. So let's just put that. We got no poll up, so we'll just do a little quick poll.
Edmund, did you finally see I was right? That felt very vindicated, by the way. Vindication. Here comes Tom's poll. If you haven't already done it, please smash the like button. It is appreciative. Or I appreciate it. How about that? I appreciate it.
All right, so we're just going to go yes, no. Not going to give people a lot of choices here. Who thinks Stronghold is a buy right now?
Let me go and pull up the price of it, and I will tell you. $4.16 after hours. Big move. 4%. $22 million market cap.
$22 million market cap.
3.91 was the low of the day.
But look what the high of the day was.
So here's my problem with with Stronghold. I don't think they're done beating it up yet. But I know it might be time to start dollar cost averaging.
Well, and remember, this is after stock consolidation, a 1-to-10 reverse stock split. And they've beaten it up considerably before and after that. When it was in the $3 and it finished at $4 even today. So I am kicking myself because my goal was to buy some of this in the threes, and I didn't do it. So if I get that chance, or I may have to buy it at a higher price.
Chances in Georgia, sorry.
All right, let's see. What have I missed on the live stream or on the chat?
Maybe I got like a whole box of cords over here. I'm wondering if my camera's in here. Anybody want an ATT modem?
You got eBay. Those are going for big bucks on eBay.
Are they really?
I don't even know what that is. I'm trying. There we go. Let's get the list up.
Isn't it funny the stuff that you buy and you're like, oh, I really need that, right? And then it sits and you never touch it again.
I buy nothing. I buy like socks like twice a year. Anyway, we digress. Hello, Sour Melon Gaming, Edmund, Alexander, Steve, Bernoulli Fish, Alex, JR, Pirani, Miguel, Gorilla, Tim,
Tom,
Mark, JR, His Honor, Eagle. Sorry if I missed anybody. Hello to everybody.
So here's my question. Do you know how many Bitcoin is hodled, or being held by SDIG?
Very next to none.
Okay.
But remember, it's a $22 million market cap company.
Okay.
So to put it in
next to none, but do they have a plan to start?
They have not talked about a hodl strategy. And
do they have a path to profitability?
I believe that they do have a path to profitability.
Okay.
And
that's a good start.
Yes. And they've ramped up their exahash dramatically. I need some more details. I'm waiting for some more details on what they're doing. I'm waiting for them to put out a monthly operational report. They put out sort of a monthly operational report, but not really, because they put it out before the month ended, estimating where they were going to be at the end of May, and not enough detail yet. So I'd like a full-blown, real deal monthly operational report, so they are doing what their peers are doing. But they have made significant progress. They've shaped up their balance sheet.
What did they mine last month?
They estimated that they were going to mine, and again, they estimated this on May 30th, so this can't be wrong by more than 6 or 7 or 8 Bitcoin. 220 Bitcoin.
Oh, ain't bad.
That puts them in the top 10, and they're a $22 million market cap company.
Oh, wow.
Right? There's
So
companies that mine less than that are worth 15 times more than them. Now, that's only one way to measure, so everybody don't go crazy and say, you know, this, that, and the next. I know there's a lot of other variables, one of which is they still have a bunch of debt. Even though they got rid of a massive amount of debt, they still do have debt left over. They're working a different equation. Remember, Stronghold does. They're your buddies. They're the ones who do that kind of that thing that nobody else does. Cleaning up the Pennsylvania.
So, Tom, I want to know this one too. So, Darren, thanks for the question. How's the weight loss going, Tom?
I did weigh in today. I really wasn't supposed to weigh in. I want to weigh in every Sunday. So so far I'm just down 3 pounds.
Nice.
I'll take it, but I've been pretty diligent for. Yeah, expect so much when you start a diet. You know what I mean? And sometimes it takes a little while for things to kick in and your body to adjust. So that I almost try not to weigh myself for the first couple weeks, because the only thing it's going to do is discourage you and make you quit. But I am down 3 pounds.
My thing is, I don't
10
eat anything.
10%. I'm down 10% of my goal.
Oh, really? Well, that ain't bad. That's huge.
Let's see. Edmund third as a hot hater. Far too high market cap for the merged company. Yeah, and Hut had, you know, they ended up only up, I say only, they were up 11% today, but they were up more like 14 or 15 all day long. So I'm just going to pull up one of these charts because, I mean, across the board.
Did HUD finally announce some information on their...
They put out a press release, but to me it really wasn't extremely informative as far as I'm concerned. So you'll see every one of these, the same thing. This last 15-minute candle, and let's see how far I can go. Yeah, I mean, the end of the day was a little bit of a pullback. That doesn't seem dramatic, but if you look at the day, you know, we were up, 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 then sideways, then at the end of the day, you know, it pulled back. And I think you'll see Bitfarms, same thing. You're going to see CleanSpark, same thing. This last 5-minute candle across the board was red for everybody. But, I mean, a lot of them, even with that, HUT was up 11% on the day. Cypher's up 22.5%. This is, with this, you know, I won't call it a crash because that's an exaggeration, but with this pullback in the last 5 minutes, this was still up 22.5%. This was a gigantic monster move for Cypher on normal volume and no news. So somebody do me a favor, let me know in the chat, what was the line of reasoning here for this massive increase in Cypher today? That's the one that really, out of all of these, and the reason it baffles me is because, remember, 22% agree is like 1% of Cypher. So when Gree goes up 22%, that is not the same thing as Cypher going up 22%. Cypher is a $750 million market cap company. So that's an awful lot of market cap that they added today in one day here. So that's my... I'm going to end this poll. It looks to me pretty clear that the answer is people are... Do you think Stronghold is a buy? The answer... Yes, 24%, no, 76%. So more than 3/4 of the people are not interested in Stronghold. So that's pretty consistent, I guess, with the fact that they were red today. But what's ironic, I don't know if it's ironic, but what's interesting is Stronghold opened 5 minutes into the day, trading day today. Stronghold was in the green big time, and it was the best mover out of all the Bitcoin miners. So it was the only one green, and it was rolling, and like there was a total reversal today. So Stronghold ended up being almost the only one red, and it was down on the day, whereas some other ones just surged like crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Kind of a weird day today. The action today was weird. The swings were massive. the action for Bitcoin itself was awesome. And there is a Bitcoin game changer, in my opinion, today. So we'll get to that in a minute as well. I'm going to end this poll. We're at 78% now. Not interested in Stronghold. I will tell you, I am interested in Stronghold. I think they're mining about 200 Bitcoin a month, and that number should go up. So I'd like to see, obviously, I'd like to see their quarterly results for the next couple of quarters and see how they're doing. But this is a company that's had a major league turnaround, and, you know, they're down. Let me go to a reel. This is 5 minutes. It's a little too zoomed in.
Ugh.
Like,
I was just
here,
drinking coconut water. Sorry.
They bounced right off of their all-time low here. Right? This is on the 1-day chart. This is their all-time low, and they're down. I'll go to the 1 week. Yep. So they are still down. And okay, let's all concede to the fact that maybe they were overpriced. This was November 2021. This was when Bitcoin hit its all-time high. This is when almost every single Bitcoin miner hit its all-time high, with a few exceptions. But we are still down, you know, 98.5% on this stock. Now, this is not a price target in my mind. I'm not sitting here saying they're going back to 350. And, you know, because of reverse stock splits, they were never really at 350. But I do think there's a monumental, at a $22 or $23 million market cap, they could 10x and still be one of the smallest Bitcoin mining companies publicly traded. And they are not the smallest by mining. They would have been number 7 this month had they reported. But they did not report. They gave us a preliminary report that I'm not counting. Have I missed any? George, are you able to read the comments? I think so. I can't hear George. I don't know if he's there or not. So, anyway, if you have not yet, we got 40 likes, which we're doing very well today. If you could hit the like button, that helps out the live stream a lot. Much appreciated. Thank you, everybody, for participating in hitting the like button and hitting the poll. And thank you to all of our members that are currently, I see, in the chat right now. Much appreciated. I did put out an extra member video on what the Fed did yesterday, I think. So if you haven't seen that, you can check it out, and then we can talk about the Fed too, because obviously they moved the market. Ryan is saying Cypher is so overvalued.
Tom, did Bitcoin get back over the 200-day moving average?
Okay, so let's take a look at that, because I in my video 2 days ago, I said Bitcoin needs... everything looks like the momentum is down, but if they do these two things, we could be okay. So let's take a look. Whoa, let's get rid of all of that. I'm going to go to the 1 day and add the 200. So here is what, just to put this into a little better perspective. So when I made my video the other day, we were down here. And I said two things. Actually, we were further. When I made my video the other day, we were down at around 24,800. So on that day, I said, listen, we need to get back over 25,200. That's step one. We got to do that, and we got to do it today. And then step two, sometime by the end of the weekend, we need to get back up above the 200-week moving average. If we don't do both of those things, then I think we do start to test some lower numbers in maybe 23, maybe 22. So I still didn't think we were in for a big crash, but I thought we needed to do two things quickly. And honestly, as I was saying it, I kind of thought they were out of reach. But you can see we almost touched the 200-week moving average today. So we're, 95% of the way back to accomplishing both of those goals. So I don't know. The weekend is going to tell the tale, I guess.
Well, the weekend's usually always strong.
All right, another quick, easy poll. Was that the bottom for Bitcoin in 2023? So you can see we got down to 24,750. We got under 25,000. 24,750. Is that the bottom for the year? Is it up from here or no?
The bottom. That's interesting. I'm saying no.
Ryan says CleanSpark is the most undervalued, followed by Iris Energy. So I actually happen to agree with that, Ryan. And I know you've been saying that every day for a year and a half. But I bought two. So I told you guys earlier, I bought two things today. And they were CleanSpark and Iris Energy. So I happen to, at the moment, I happen to be on the same page, Ryan. To me, those two things were just presenting a buying opportunity today. I was gonna, my third and fourth ones, I also wanted some Bitfarm and I wanted some Stronghold, but I didn't get to those. But I did get, you know, for CleanSpark to be sideways today was wild for me. So I you know, just dollar cost average, nothing crazy. And same thing for Iris Energy. That, you know, Iris Energy is still under a $200 million market cap. So to me, they're just giving shares of that away right now.
It still gets me with CleanSpark because you know why they're trying to get their money, raise their money. It'd be interesting to know how much they've
they really
have
need
left.
their stock to go up because, you know, if their stock was trading at what I'll say is of, I won't say fair because I don't know that that word means anything in investing, but closer to what I think its value is, you know, it would be a heck of a lot better if they could be diluting at $5 or $6 a share than, you know, at $4 a share or $3.88 where they are right now. So it's almost like the market's going to keep them beat down until they're done diluting. And that may be sooner than later. We'll see, you know, we're going to have to wait until the next quarterly report to get some, you know, true numbers and updates on that, but they could be getting close to. They've already got purchase orders and deposits in to get them over 16 exahash. So I don't know that they're going to do any more buying this year. And then I think they should take a pause for a moment. Wesley saying, do you think $35 is a realistic price target for CleanSpark? So, Wesley, my answer to that is depends on your time frame. I think that ultimately CleanSpark will be more than $35, but I plan on holding. There's some of these that I plan on, you know, that is a buy and hold for me for a longer period of time. I don't know if it's 3 years, 5 years. I don't know that anybody can plan. Past 5 years, it's hard to absolutely commit to holding on to something, but I think within 5 years, it could go past that number. So, and this is a long-term buy and hold for me. So, you know, that's just my opinion, but that's why I continue to dollar cost average in, because I do think there's big upside on CleanSpark, and, you know, it's a risk-reward thing. I think the downside is less. So, less risk than maybe some of their peers, understanding that, I mean, we just have to admit every single Bitcoin miner is a high-risk stock. It's just at what degree. Some are lower risk than others, but they're all dependent. You know, if Bitcoin goes the wrong way and we go back into a crypto winter, you know, none of these stocks are going to thrive in that environment.
Question for you.
Yes.
Do you have any other investments outside of crypto?
Yes.
Miners.
Yes, I do.
What percentage of your money is in crypto?
Of my total money or my invest, because I also keep money on the sidelines. So
right. Of your investment money.
So I'm probably pushing, and I'm gonna say the number, but this is way too much. I'm
50?
I'm over 40%, but probably somewhere close to 40% in Bitcoin miners.
Oh wow.
So that's something ordinarily. I don't know that I've ever had a portfolio balanced in that way. That's very heavy. I'm sure there's people on this stream right now that are even heavier than that. And it's all a matter of, there is no right and wrong. You know, if this is where you think the biggest, and I do think this is where the biggest opportunity is. If I look at every single industry in the market, I think this represents the most upside. You know, we'll take a look at the EVs, the electric vehicles, because they went bananas yesterday and today, and there was some wild rides on those worth looking at. So you could have made and lost fortunes just in one day on a couple of those today.
Juneteenth. Everybody's saying 3-day weekend. I'm like, why is it a 3-day weekend?
Is it a 3-day weekend? Is the market
It's
closed Monday?
Yeah, Juneteenth.
I didn't know
That's
that was
what
a
it's
market
called?
close day, though.
I don't know. I don't even know what it.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Is the So yeah, it is open on Monday.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Is that the day? Is Monday Juneteenth?
Well, 16th, 17th, 18th. That would be Juneteenth. Yeah.
All right. So, well, there's your answer. I don't think there's a market close. So, not a federal holiday apparently in the United States. Yeah, because I hadn't heard. I'm usually tuned into if there's a day off in the market.
Right. You kind of do this time.
What
You're
is
in the know.
Cypher's currently planned growth? So Cypher, right now, I think 8.2 exahash is what they've committed to if we were to pull up their investor presentation. So they have a path to 8.2 exahash. I'm not sure where they go from here. But the other side of Cypher is they now have put out financial statements. They're up and running and mining. And they have shown that based on actual performance, their cost per coin is very, very low. It was like $7,000 cost per coin. So, that's 70 or 80% less than a lot of their competitors. So, while Bitcoin is at lower numbers, that makes a gigantic difference. So, in other words, with Bitcoin at 26,000, their gross profit could be double their competition's. Now, if Bitcoin's at 60,000, that will start to matter less and less and less. But as Bitcoin has been at these low numbers for, well over a year now, really Bitcoin's peaked in March of 2022. There was a run back up to 48,000. It crashed from there, and it hasn't really been over. We got to 31,000 in April of 2023. That was the high over the course of the last year plus. So, Bitcoin's been between 15,500 and 31,000 for the last much more than a year. So at those numbers, Cypher is, they have a much better gross profit margin than their competition. Now, there's some other companies that look like they're headed in the same direction. TerraWolf has been claiming much lower numbers. They've been trending in that direction. So I do think it's quite possible by the time their financial statements come out the next time, they're going to be, at maybe $8,000 or $8,500, which is very close. So,
Tom?
Yep.
Consensus is you're wrong.
The consensus is that I'm wrong. Well, that's no surprise.
It says it's a holiday.
Well, I just looked it up.
Where'd you look it up?
It's not, huh?
Where'd you look it up?
On Google. I said, is Monday. I didn't ask if it's a holiday. I want to know if the stock market's open. This is about investing. Is the stock market open?
It says Monday is a federal holiday and the markets are closed from Edmond. No, so.
Is
Sorry,
the
buddy.
stock market open on Monday, June 19th? Here's the USA Today. Let's go into this article.
Are you actually going to put it up on screen?
Yeah, I'm looking. It's on screen. I don't know if there's a delay. The U.S. stock market will be closed Monday. So for those of you who know, I mean, I wasn't guessing it. The last thing I just looked at on screen, Google said it was going to be open on Monday. But now the USA Today says the U.S. stock markets will be closed Monday. The NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange, wait a second, will close at 4 p.m. on Friday and reopen for regular trading sessions at 9:30 on Tuesday. So I stand corrected. According to the USA Today and apparently Edmund, there is no trading on Monday. See? I blew it big time then because I usually, that affects my buys and sells. So that's a big, big error on my part. Let's go to the actual NASDAQ itself because I think they'll know if they're open.
I doubt it.
They're closed. So, all right. So I don't know about the rest of the world, but the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ are closed this coming Monday. So this is a 3-day weekend. That's my mistake. I take it back. I was just reading from
What are we
Google.
paying you for, Tom? Oh, wait.
No.
We're not.
That's... Well, there. I did not know that. I don't like days off on the... We already got to do 2 days off on the weekend, but that's probably a me problem.
I love days off.
So I'll show you, if you guys should, hopefully you should see Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame on the screen. So I leave this dotted line. So as all of you guys probably know, or for those of you who are new and do not know, this orange line right here is where the market was. That's where Bitcoin was when the U.S. equity markets closed yesterday. This dotted line is where Bitcoin was when the U.S. equity markets closed last Friday, which was the end of last week. So from the end of last week, if you look at this, from the end of last week to the end of this week, we're in the almost exactly the exact same spot. We're a few dollars away. We're $30 away from where we were 7 full days ago.
Super chat.
FV702. Thank you for the super chat. I am back. Closed Monday. That's why we had a sell-off. Wolf out of steam. Bitfarms to the moon. CleanSpark. Make that run. Last purchased MicroStrategy. Bitcoin to $35,000. All right. Thank you, FV702, for the super chat and the info. Let's see. Let's break that down. So Wolf is out. He's thinking Wolf's out of steam. They've done their run. Bitcoin to the moon. I'm on board for that train. CleanSpark, make that run. And last purchased MicroStrategy, Bitcoin to 35,000. So Bitcoin to 35,000. I'm in, and the poll. So we'll check in on our poll. Was that the bottom for Bitcoin? Right now we're at 71% yes, 29% no. So
I'm
yes
in the
is winning.
minority.
We'll leave that open for a little while longer, but yes is pretty in a pretty solid lead. Barry, who's been a member for 9 months, thank you, Barry, is asking, are you buying BlackRock? So that's my big news on the day. It's not my news, it's the news.
Buying BlackRock.
So let's talk about that right now. And then Bernoulli Fish is saying, in my opinion, the BlackRock ETF news is a nothing burger. The SEC has made the case for no ETF very clear. Okay, I'm going to take the other side of this. He also, just to finish,
all right, welcome
his
to Talking
thought
Investing.
is, if anyone was going to get, Grayscale is positioned to do so. So I think Grayscale is also positioned to do so, but I'm going to read an article why this this time it's different. I don't care about this. Okay, so number one. So BlackRock is applying for a Bitcoin spot ETF. So that is gigantic news. I think that is what the pump was today in Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin did just a turnaround. But I think this is different for two gigantic reasons. Number one, let's all just acknowledge the fact BlackRock is the 800-pound gorilla. They're the 8,000-pound gorilla. These guys have more money than everybody else by far. So, you know, when BlackRock steps in, that speaks volumes. But it's more than just that. And, you know, a company with this size and weight, you know, they do throw their weight around. So they are more likely just on the face of it to get this than anybody else. Now, I do agree with Bernoulli that Grayscale is also well down the path of I believe successfully getting a Bitcoin ETF. So, but that aside, they're doing something different here. So I'm going to go down to this. BlackRock may have found a way to get the SEC's approval for the spot Bitcoin ETF. So BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust application to the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission this week might stand a better chance than previous attempts by other fund managers, thanks to the promise of a, quote, surveillance sharing agreement between exchanges. On page 36 of the NASDAQ 19B4 filing, it states that to mitigate against market manipulation, NASDAQ will be brought in to enter into a surveillance sharing agreement with an operator of a spot trading platform for Bitcoin. Surveillance sharing agreements allow for the sharing of information about market trading activity, clearing activity, and customer identification, allowing for little possibility of market manipulation. This is a big change versus anything else that's been submitted. So I think first of all, the fact that these guys have, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 trillion dollars to throw around gives them a pretty good chance. Secondly, this is one of the major objections. So this transparency, to me, I just don't know. I don't know what left does the SEC have to argue about.
I bet you it gets fast tracked too. What is the name? What's the ticker?
Right now, they're just submitting an application.
Oh, okay.
Nash V is saying BlackRock has a 575 wins and 1 loss win rate on getting ETFs approved. So that's pretty good. As in,
wow,
insane. Stephen English, I bet it gets fast-tracked too. Yeah, Gary's asking, which one did BlackRock lose? That's a good question. FV702 is saying BlackRock has all the money. I bet it pushed Bitcoin to new highs. So I think so. I think today's pump in Bitcoin, and there was a pump in Bitcoin today. Now, granted, we just looked. It got all the way back to, it's currently exactly back to where it was last Friday when the market closed. But this one-day pump from yesterday's, let's see, this was actually 10:45 this morning. No, this is not. We got to go to, I got to get off of that 15-minute. Right, so from the bottom, you know, this is almost a 7% move to the upside, which for Bitcoin in one day is a massive, massive move, particularly since here we were, this little spot right here, we had fallen below this line of support, and that's when I made my video saying, you know, that's, if I did say it's been a short period of time, and I think we, you know, if we can get back above this, maybe we'll be okay. But if we don't get back above this, I thought we would be testing lower numbers. Well, sure enough, we did jump back above this, but this was off of what looked like, you know, we were sitting in an area where potentially, I think the majority of people expected we were going to go, the next $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 was going to be down. Instead, we got the absolute exact opposite of that. So and it's not over. Now we got a weekend, and as it turns out, a 3-day weekend for Bitcoin to settle in wherever it ends up settling in. But I do think that BlackRock was responsible for that. I think BlackRock jumping into this, we'll see. I'm sure there'll be lots of ebbs and flows and good news and bad news and this and that. It's not going to happen. Even if it's fast-tracked, it's not going to happen overnight. So, much more to come. But if they accomplish this, and I think that they will, and then I think, I also think it's true. Grayscale has, made, I think, a rock-solid case. I just don't understand where the objection is on the Grayscale situation either. So I think those two are coming, and then who knows what happens from there. But BlackRock being who they are, it would be no surprise if they are first. And just the fact that they asked, you can see, is moving markets. All right, Edmund's saying, let's do a poll. Where will Bitcoin be at the opening of the stock trading on Tuesday? So that's a 3-day weekend. So this poll's over. Was this the bottom for Bitcoin? 70% say yes, 30% say no. So overall optimistic, but by no means, unanimous. So let me just set up another one. Oh, if everybody can do us a favor, if you can please smash the like button, I would appreciate it very much. We have 61 likes, so thank you to everybody who has smashed the like button. So we're coming up on 100 concurrent viewers, where we haven't been actually in a long time. People have been pretty depressed and on the sidelines for the last couple of months here. So let's see if we can make a push. Matthew, thank you very much for pressing the like button. All right, let me finish writing this poll.
Wow, that's crazy. 70-30. See, now, isn't that funny that people think because BlackRock's getting in that the price of Bitcoin's going to go up? I think the exact opposite. I think it's going to go down first because BlackRock likes to make money, and they can. How much money do they have? And they can't manipulate the market to get it lower?
BlackRock, as somebody said, BlackRock has all the money.
Right, and so, I mean, that's why, this was one of the reasons why I said I won't go any deeper than that, but you know what I'm talking about. That's the whole reason why I said the summer of hell for crypto.
I know you don't think it's going anywhere between now and the end of the summer, anywhere other than maybe down.
Yeah, I just don't, I mean, look at that, almost a 5% push today on ETH, 5% on Bitcoin. XRP's down. OKB, which I don't even know what it is up 4.44%, and they're number 7. Do you know what that is, OKB?
OKB? No. Who's number 7 where?
The cryptocurrencies. You know I'm your crypto guy.
Oh. Yeah, they've been moving up the list at other people's expense.
1 year return, 275% right now, by the way. OKB.
I thought we were talking Bitcoin miners. I'm like, I don't really remember that one.
My question is, they've pumped this one. Is it going to dump?
Sorry, it's taking me a minute to put this poll together.
That's this. Wow, this company almost a $10 billion market cap now, 9 point something.
All right, I'm throwing the George thing on there. I'd like to thank everybody. We are currently at 100 concurrent viewers. We have not been there over the last couple of months, which has been, I think, a symptom of the fact that investors have been worn out and tired and a little bit depressed and bored, all of those things. So I appreciate everybody who's here today. Glad to see everybody back.
I see a nice little pump this weekend then. As I say that, Bitcoin took a turn down a little bit. It can't get up. What do you think? 27.2?
I don't know.
The question is, which one of these 11 to 20 cryptos are going to jump back up? It's insane to see, like Salerno. They're up 5%. Litecoin.
Okay, so where will Bitcoin be at the market open on Tuesday? So that's after the long weekend. Are we going up above 27,000? Are we going sideways somewhere between 25,000 and 27,000? We're at 26.4 right now. Are we going down somewhere between 24,000 and 25,000? Or are we going to new lows under 24,000? Which would be, remember, the last one was 24,750, the low for the year. And so that would be obviously be lower. Bitcoin Rules said, hey, hello, welcome. Let's see, Summer Gaming. Tom, will you get nervous on live streams when we get to 1K concurrent views?
Were you, Tom?
No, I won't. I really don't. It does a one person, 100 people. You know, when there's 4 or 5 people, you feel like you're wasting your time. But as long as there's 30, 40, 50 people, I enjoy having the conversation. And, you know, I'm glad to talk to whoever's there. So, you know, if it's 1,000 people, it's 1,000. And I've been in front of, I used to, like everybody else my age.
I need to get in. Organic, I haven't changed. I still think it's going there. I have a number lower than 10,000 in my head, by the way. And I pray to God I'm wrong.
So Organic Auto saying, George, no offense, but weren't you calling like 10,000 to 15,000 a few months back?
I'm still calling it the summer of hell for crypto.
So George, you're still on that page.
I am not off that page yet.
Wes,
I can see a reason for Bitcoin to pop. I can see that, but right now, those reasons haven't happened yet. I mean, it could. I mean, I don't want to tell you because you're going to think I think I know exactly what the number's going to be, but I don't want to be stupid, so I'm not going to say.
Hey, listen.
Without seeing George, it's like he's speaking in my head.
Nash V. In 2014, BlackRock was denied an ETF where they wanted to create a, quote, non-transparent ETF, one in which they would not disclose their holdings. The SEC denied it. Wow, that was, pardon my French, that's pretty ballsy request. That should just get denied on the face of it. That's ludicrous.
And I think BlackRock's in heavy, by the way.
You think BlackRock's in Bitcoin?
Yes.
I think by the time they get around to saying they were going to do a Bitcoin ETF, yeah, I think they've built a position in Bitcoin. That's what would make sense to me. Obviously, Bitcoin is a world where sometimes nothing makes any sense. So, you know, it's hard to make predictions. But I remain bullish. I'll make this prediction. I remain bullish for the rest of the year 2023. I do think, you know, this news pushed us up. We were on the brink of testing some lower spots. But even in my video where I said, you know, is Bitcoin going to crash? I did say, I don't think so. I think we may test a few spots. You know, 22,800 was my line in the sand. I thought that's as low as we would go if we did have a dip from here. This is still a pretty natural dip in Bitcoin. We got to almost exactly a 20% pullback. So, you know, those happen all the time in bull runs. And I think we're in a bull run. I mean, we were up 100% from the bottom. Now we're off of that right now. And we've had, you know, we're in the middle of a 20% pullback, and now it's a little less than that because we moved up today, but oh, Mike is saying Bitcoin dominance increasing to 50%. Yeah, I want to bring that chart up because Bitcoin dominance has crossed a line, and I think this is also very significant. And Michael Saylor has come out and said he thinks Bitcoin dominance is going to 80. So I'm not on that page, but I do want to show you a line I drew a long time ago. Bitcoin dominance just crossed that line. So let me get there. I'll do it on this other page. And it's not the 200-week moving average. So you can see, like, this is not a line I just drew yesterday. This goes all the way back to, this is May of 2021. So we're now in June of 2023. That is over 2 full years. Bitcoin has been below this 49%, 48.9%. You know, we tested it once, didn't quite test it here, but took a nice run up, touched it again here. This was back in April. And now, you know, if I zoom in, you can see a week ago we broke through this, and now all of a sudden it's support. So Bitcoin dominance grows. I think that makes a lot of sense, particularly I think this has absolutely everything to do with the SEC coming out and, you know, doing a lawsuit against not only Binance, but also Coinbase, but more so than that, in that they specifically called out 13 cryptocurrencies, including 3 of the largest cryptocurrencies, 3 of the top 8 cryptocurrencies, they said were securities. Now, just because they said that in a lawsuit doesn't mean that it is so, but it does create a lot of FUD around them. So where's the flight to safety? Bitcoin. And you can see Bitcoin's dominance is at a place it hasn't been in well over 2 years. So, you know, if it holds this line, it could, you know, 50, we're basically at 50. It could go higher from here. I think that it will go higher from here. And I think if we see one of these ETFs, you know, that's one of those top 3 or 4 type things where, you know, that will cause a surge to me in Bitcoin. And I know we did do a poll, you know, is Ethereum going to pass Bitcoin a few weeks ago? And I think there was, you know, 20% or something that think, you know, someday Ethereum will be bigger than Bitcoin. But the majority thought Bitcoin was the dominant. And you can see it's now very, very close to 50% of the entire cryptocurrency universe. And it's in a breakout. So all very bullish. So even though the chart might not look as bullish, you know, that dominance is a bullish signal. So we're getting a lot of mixed signals. And now we got a 3-day weekend for everything to mature and see where it all goes. This is news to me. I'm embracing it now. At first I was bumming the market wasn't going to be open on Monday, but now I'm going to embrace the 3-day weekend. All right, this is a pretty close poll, so if you have not voted, cast your vote. We got a real close poll going on.
Uh-oh, we got some barking dogs.
Let's see. Organic Auto saying, because as of today, 70% of the total Bitcoin supply has been in hodl position for over a year, and the only possible way I can see Bitcoin going sub 10K is if the end of the world type news is occurring. So Organic Auto is saying he feels 10K beyond unlikely.
No way, Jose, is what I think I hear.
Yes. Point, counterpoint. So, oh, Stephen English is pointing out, yes, important fact, BlackRock will use Coinbase to hold their Bitcoin. So, you know, he's saying Coinbase will be fine. I thought Coinbase would have popped a lot more today on that news. It was up a couple percent, had a nice little day, but not a game changer for it. But yeah, I mean, BlackRock and Coinbase, that's one of the reasons I've always held confidence. This is just solidifying a relationship that already exists. So, you know, I'm not invested in Coinbase because, like I said, I'm already over 40% of my investment money is already cryptocurrency related via the Bitcoin miners. So,
JD, yeah, that is one of the issues that I still see. And I also see do you think there's going to be a shakeout with Tether? And I still see this problem with Binance.
Well,
There's
yeah.
a problem still with Binance.
I mean, the SEC just sued Binance. We don't know what's going to come of all of that. The SEC sued Coinbase, although in a much, much less aggressive fashion. So that one, I think, is more likely to end up getting hashed out and agreed upon and some fines and whatnot. The Binance one's a lot more aggressive. And then, yeah, the tether question.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately, that's going to present an issue. Because Tether got hurt. I mean, I know they're making a lot of money right now. But they got hurt with that, what is it called? Evergreen? Remember Evergreen? The commercial loan thing that fell apart in China. Yeah, I think it was called Evergreen, wasn't it?
It was something very close to that. I'm not sure if that was it.
Evergrande? I don't know. Something had ever in it.
Anthony's saying Coinbase will win.
Oh, I think that's a guarantee.
Oh, Darren's asking, did y'all see BitDeer today? Sorry to interrupt, George. Yeah, I mean,
no.
BitDeer's been on a tear. I'm going to go to the BitDeer. Going to BitDeer. Do I even have them?
Evergrande. Thanks, Steven. Guess what I can't say? Tom, do you want to go to dinner?
Haha, that's right.
I'm in Georgia now, so.
There. That's what BitDeer... So check out this run. This is 1, 2... Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. In the last 5 days... BitDeer's up 123%. So congratulations to anybody that was invested in BitDeer. That's something that they just went public. So you can see, I mean, this is not, they just went public like somewhere, it actually was after here. It was like the 22nd or something like, I don't remember. Somewhere in April of 2023, they just went public. So, they went like everything else. They dipped. But this last week's been, so if you dollar cost averaged in on the way down, you're in real good shape on this one. I did not do that. They did put out their first ever monthly operational report just 2 days ago. So I did review that. I went through that. I didn't include them in my top 10 because, number one, I had already done all the charts. Number two, it's the first one they've ever put out, and I want to dig a little deeper into exactly what they do. They are by far not a pure play on Bitcoin mining. In fact, I think it's the smaller piece of what they do. But having said that, they're at 4 exahash, and they will be a top 10 Bitcoin miner if, once I'm comfortable that their information makes sense. I will add them to my charts, and when I do, they'll be in the top 10. So that's two that if they would put out monthly and to BitDeer's credit, they've done it. They have now put out a monthly operational report, which is now, by far, that is now the standard for Bitcoin miners. So the very few that aren't doing that are, their stock price and market cap are taking a hit for not keeping up with the industry standard. Sourmelon Gaming, Tom and George, someday I want to go to dinner with you two. I'm buying. You both have helped me so much. Well, glad that we have helped. And if you're
that's good to hear.
The neighborhood, I'd be glad to go to dinner as well.
We're in different states now.
So
I'm
not sure what. Yeah, not sure what neighborhood you'd have to be in, but Darren said. Iris Energy market cap absurdly low at $188 million. So I completely agree with that. That is why I added to them today. So for those of you who were not here, I did buy 2 things today. I had my eye on 4 things, and I haven't bought this. That might have been my first buy this week. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I did buy Iris Energy today and CleanSpark today. So I dollar cost averaged into my positions in both of those. I was looking to maybe get into Bitfarms, but I didn't do it. And I am looking to open a position. Well, I have a very, very small position. I'm looking to add to my position in Stronghold. I think that I like them. I think good things are coming. So maybe I'll do a deep dive on that one.
I want to look at Marathon for last week, by the way. Last Friday to this Friday.
Their stock or their production?
No, their stock. I just wanted they only went down to $9.
Okay, so Edmund said sold all my Wolf for Iris, however, still short 400 Wolf puts, so I'm most likely to be back in for 40K shares in July through November. 2 knocks. Shares outstanding and debt. Do like management. Yeah, so those are valid points. The people definitely... Wolf is one that has debt. And you know, they have also improved their balance sheet significantly. They have a very low cost per coin. There's a lot of good things happening with TerraWolf, but they do have a bunch of debt where a lot of other companies do not. So, you know, depending on what happens to the price of Bitcoin, that could turn into a problem if things go the wrong way. Organic Auto said, some good conversation / debates today, George. Glad we can have different views and talk about it, but I do hope you're wrong. I agree, Organic, on all accounts. Number one, I hope George is wrong, and I hope we're not going to $10,000 or $15,000. As you guys know, well, I didn't actually weigh in, but I do think that 24,750, that was the low for the rest of the year, in my opinion. However, I will not be shocked, as I just went through. If you watch my video from a few days ago, I do see a scenario where we could get down to maybe like 22.8, in my opinion. So, and again, obviously, all I'm doing is
my whole
taking
thing
my
is
best
this
guess.
is a game, and all they're doing is taking money from us poor people. You know what I mean?
Well, they win the game.
And I mean that's I have never changed my opinion long term on Bitcoin, by the way.
So you're still
I'm 100%.
long-term bullish on Bitcoin, but you just don't know what the journey's going to be.
No, I think too many people think the journey is going to be just like you guys all are saying. And you know what happens when people are consensus like that?
Well, I think people are pretty confused right now. And I think the last 2 months we've been very sideways. Now, I think you're right. I think everybody is more along the lines of Organic Auto, where they think 15,000 or 10,000 is off the table. But I do think people are very up in the air and wishy-washy on, you know, how long are we going to go sideways? You know,
I don't think anything's off the table, personally.
Well, true. I
just don't. And I'm not even saying it's going to be a long crash either. That was the other thing. I don't think it's going to be a long crash.
You just think
it might just be a dump, and you see the numbers, and then it takes off again. You know.
Cosmic Contrarian says, I think Bitcoin dominance easily goes to 70%, maybe higher. And while that sounds like a big number, it's been there. It's been there before many times. So that is not, I mean, that's not a ridiculous statement. Edmund now owns 1/705th of Iris Energy. That actually makes you a major shareholder.
Yeah, it does.
So that's a significant position, Edmund. And
congratulations.
And I don't own as much as you do, but I did add to my position today, and you know, I feel really good. I just think they're so undervalued. So I'm not even arguing they're the best Bitcoin miner out there, although you know, you can look at my deep dive. I did do a deep dive on them, and I made a very strong case that they have a long, nothing but up to go from here, in my opinion. So I love what they're doing, but you know, the main thing is their market cap is crazy to me. It's just crazy. So I'll show you. I'll compare two companies that absolutely baffle me. The first one is so if you look at Iris Energy, they're at $188 million market cap. So let's just take a quick look. Where was their... Okay, so they're at 5.5 exahash. They're fully funded to 6.5 exahash. They mined, so, okay, this is the important part. They mined 508 Bitcoin in the month of May. That put them in 4th place out of the publicly traded Bitcoin miners, understanding that I don't include Core Scientific for the period of time that they remain in Chapter 11. So if and when they come out, they'll go back on the list. But this was a massive, massive jump for them. They went from 8th place to 6th place up to 4th place in a 2-month period of time. 508 Bitcoin, and so their market cap's 188 million. So now, if I go like this, and no offense, and if you guys own this, I'm glad for you because you've had a good year, and I'm going to look at the chart. You got Bit Digital at $277 million market cap. So this is worth almost $100 million more, almost 50% more than Iris Energy. And let's just take a look at what these guys did in the month of May. See, they're making me read the fine print. They don't even spell it out for you because... Okay, in May, the company produced 113 Bitcoin. They're at 1.2 exahash. By the way, it's not like they're at 1.2 on the way to 6. They're at 1.2, maybe on the way to 1.5. So this is a tiny company. They mined 1/5 the Bitcoin that Iris Energy did, and they're significantly bigger market cap. There's just, and lastly, you think BitTier's doing good? Take a look at this. This is Bit Digital. So this day right here, well, no, we're going to do the full run from the beginning of the year. This is the first day of the year right here. So this is 2023. So that's off of their lows, so I'm not going to go to their lows. From January 1st until now, they're up 450%. Bit Digital is up 450%, which means they went from a company much, much, much smaller than Iris Energy to a company that's almost 50% bigger in market cap. So I'm going to do a poll. Does that make sense to everybody? Am I the only one who thinks something's going on here that I can't figure out? And for me, I'd be worried if I held Bit Digital. Now, because all of these things are very low market cap, if Bitcoin takes off, it's, what do they say?
You can't catch a falling knife?
You can't judge a book by its cover. No, something about high tide rises all boats or whatever the case may be. So, if Bitcoin rallies big time, then, you're probably going to be okay whichever one of these you hold. But to me, would I rather be holding Iris at $188 million market cap and mining over 500 Bitcoin a month with plans? They have a runway to get much, much, much bigger. Bit Digital's been trying to plug machines in for the last 2 years. They can't get it done. In that time, almost every single machine they own has become obsolete, and they are never going to plug them in. So that's Bit Digital's journey. What?
No, you just imagine. No. The holes in the wall. Remember, what are these holes in the wall for?
Yeah.
How do we plug these things in? It means they don't have the infrastructure to do it. By the way.
Right, and they're desperately, they find, whereas other companies put out, we're opening a 100 megawatt facility, we opened 20 megawatts, we did it. They put out press releases. Oh, we just found 2 megawatts that we can plug like 800 machines into. That's their big press releases. So I'm not trying
My thing is
to bash
Cypress.
them. It's just happening that way.
My thing is Cypress. Don't they still split their mining?
The vast majority of what they do is their own. So back, 5 months ago, the majority of what they did was split. Oh, time out. Thank you very much for a super chat from Pobrain, who says, appreciate your hard work, Tom. Thank you very much. And we appreciate you being a member. Thank you so much. And thanks for the super chat. Any other thoughts? Please share with us. I want to know if people had a good week financially as far as their stocks go, because we saw Bitcoin, it had a huge day today, and a lot of the Bitcoin miners had a huge day today. But really, we ended up, remember, if we look at it, we're really exactly, this line was last Friday. So there's last Friday, here's this Friday. So it was all a big wash from the standpoint of looking at Bitcoin's price. But some of the Bitcoin miners, if you were in the right miners, you had a really good week. Bernoulli Fish says 2 megawatts. We sneeze and gain or lose 2 megawatts. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like when I see a press release on, we plugged 300 machines in, that's not a company that's, this is not an up and coming on the move company. When you see other companies talking about,
Who brain? You're so nice.
Well, we have Iris Energy with, I think, another 560 megawatts of capacity that they haven't even tapped into yet. So that's the company that's worth 50% less than Bit Digital. Not financial advice. Maybe everybody disagrees with me. Maybe everyone else thinks Bit Digital is the better company. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm giving you my opinion. To me, it's a baffling situation.
Baffling.
It's absolutely baffling. Edmund is saying Iris is not appreciated as much as it deserves, partially because the management is Australian. However, CEO and management is very experienced in power and infrastructure management and development. I mean, their stock clearly indicates to me that they're not appreciated. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if it's because they're not located, management's not located in the U.S. They're not the only ones whose management isn't in the U.S. So I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. But I do, I added today because I do think, look at some of the moves today. So Cypher was up 22%. Gree was up 22%. TerraWolf was up 10%. Hut was up 11%. So I don't try to chase around which one's doing what. I get the ones I have a high level of conviction in, and I keep dollar cost averaging into them because they're going to have their day where they're up 22% or whatever the case may be. So, for me, Bitfarms is one of my big positions. Today was not that day. It was up 1.74%. CleanSpark's one of my big positions. Today was not that day. It was up 0.26%. So
not that day, guys. Not that good day.
It was not that day for either one of those. Now Riot's
hey,
one
I'm
of my
not
big
that guy. I'm not that guy.
But that's why I have a basket of these, because they all do move on different days. And anyway, my point being, from a market cap standpoint, I don't know, Edmund, maybe that's one of the reasons. All I can say is oftentimes a lot of stocks are priced irrationally, but I do think normally, if you wait long enough, they will cross paths with their fair value, in my opinion. Nothing's a guarantee, but that's my concept. That is the concept of dollar cost averaging and buy and hold. Cosmic Contrarian, Tom and George.
That's
really
what scares me, by the way.
Thank you. You're welcome, Cosmic Contrarian. Glad to do it. I know George and I both, well, I'll speak for myself, but I know George has told me also. We enjoy the live stream very much, so I appreciate everybody jumping on with us.
Yeah, I had to miss I got so sick this week, guys. Oh, that was a rough one. That was rough. But I'm better now.
Oh, that's right. You missed our members only because you were not feeling well.
I went into a house that had black mold, and it really messed me up.
Ed Mack said, not sure Tom pronounced that name correctly.
What name?
I don't know. I don't know, but he's got a 50% chance of being right because I'm not that great at pronouncing names, so.
Words, Roxanne. Let's play the old game. If you had $1 million, where would you put it right now, Tom? Is it just gonna be Cyprus?
If I had $1 million, I'd
Be rich?
put it on red. See what happens. No, I'm only kidding, of course. You know I'm never going to pick one stock for that.
No, I know, but I mean, it's still a good, interesting thing.
My things that I think are the most undervalued. I mean, I put my money where my mouth was. The two things I bought today were CleanSpark and Iris Energy, and the next two things on my list that I would have bought was Bitfarms and Stronghold. So to me, I think those are the four most undervalued at this point in time. That does not mean, so just, if you're in another stock, I'm in a bunch of other stocks than that. So I'm not saying those are the only four good Bitcoin miners to hold on to. I think, to me, my next dollar would go into those four based on where they're at right now. So.
Is it really? Do you think Iris is low because they're not, they don't get the institutional money?
Well, I think definitely, versus a Marathon and Riot, first of all, they had a big head start on everybody, not operationally, but just as far as being on the NASDAQ in the United States and a U.S.-based company, institutional adoption. Their market caps are unreasonable in comparison to the rest of the Bitcoin miners, in my opinion. This picture, I believe this picture will look drastically different, 18 months from now. You're not going to live in a world where Riot is 10 times the market cap of most of the other Bitcoin miners. I don't think that makes sense, and I hold a bunch of Riot. So I don't think it's because Riot's overvalued. I think it's because so many of these other ones are undervalued. Now, Riot has an unbelievably good balance sheet, in my opinion. They've got some other good stuff going for them. They do have some question marks that I would like to have answered, but who doesn't? So you never know. JC said 5 reasons Bitcoin could crash, question mark. So if you want my 5 reasons that Bitcoin can crash, and maybe you're quoting this is, I just put out a video, 5 reasons why Bitcoin could crash. And I do still think that is a video worth watching, because just because we had a nice little rally, BlackRock put some news out, and we moved in the right direction, I said, in my opinion, 2 things were going to avoid that. One of them already happened. We got back above this purple line. So you can see that happened very quickly. We got right back above this line of support at 25,200. The other one, however, I'm going to go to the 1 day. The other thing that I think is important, or we still have risk to the downside, we need to get above this 200-week moving average again. For as long as we are below this, the momentum is potentially down. Now, you'll see that's why it looks like we bottomed out, because we've run almost all the way back up. But, you might have the opposite argument. We touched this but didn't go above it here. We almost touched this but didn't go above it here. So is this now resistance? So if we can't pass this up over the 3-day weekend and this starts looking like resistance, then maybe we do go visit 24,000 or 23,000. So I don't know.
Welcome to Talking Investing.
I'm equally, I'm by no means am I saying we're out of the woods and it's, straight to the moon from here. I do like what's happened in the last couple of days. Obviously, we're very close to doing the two things I said we need to do to avoid a big move to the downside. But we're not there yet, and you never know what's going to happen. And that's all only short to medium term stuff anyway. Even if we were to go revisit 23,000 or even somehow 20,000, you know, none of that would change my long-term opinion on Bitcoin. None of that would change my opinion on where we're going to be at the halving and beyond. So,
who do you think we should do that? That would be a good poll. Come up with 4 different people of who you think invented Bitcoin. That'd be kind of fun, don't you, or no?
Yeah, sure. All right, we have.
I can give you 4 people too.
Sorry, Drew, I'm just going to interrupt. We got a chat from Phonebookson member for 9 months, so thank you for that. I cannot verify this information. In fact, I can verify that it's false. But he said, join the channel and BlackRock will send you $15,000. So thanks for the comment, but that is absolutely incorrect. But having said that, I do encourage everybody to join the channel. We have a lot of members. A lot of you guys are on the chat right now. So thank you very much for being a member. Membership is only $5 per month, and I do make a lot of members-only video. We have a once-a-week members-only live stream every Tuesday after the market closes, and we have a members-only Discord that has an active conversation going. So thank you very much to all the existing members, and you can join the membership by hitting the join button on the YouTube page right next to the subscribe button. That's it. That's my spiel.
Are you going to say what I'm going to say? No. If we didn't have that, we probably would have stopped doing YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Our revenue from, you know, not that any of this pays for anything, and we really don't make any money at all at this, but without that, we'd be negative to the point where...
Yeah, I mean, don't you agree with that, or no?
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like I said, none of it's a lot of money. This is not how we earn a living, but it'd be nice to pay for itself. So, anyway.
You get a paycheck? What? Sorry.
Not to belabor that. So the point of all that is, thank you very much to all of the members. It might seem like not a big deal. It's $5 a month, but it is a big deal, and we appreciate it very much. I'm going to end this poll. It's been going on for a long time. Where will Bitcoin be when the market opens on Tuesday? So we have 2 that were very close, but in reality, everybody's pretty bullish because in first place was 25,000 to 27,000. So 46% of the people pretty much think it's going to stay somewhere in the same neighborhood. In second place, 40% think we're going to go above 27,000. So that would be a nice move to the upside. It's not that far away. We're at 26,300 right now. So that's only 700 points up over a 3-day weekend. So 40% are there. And then, so in distant third place, 24,000 to 25,000 at 9%. And then only 5% think we're going under 24,000. So that is the end of that poll. Thank you for your participation. Oops, I missed the button. End poll. George, what poll were you thinking about?
Who do you guys think invented Bitcoin?
Okay, we need some nominations. And you can't say Satoshi.
No.
That's
So I'll
pseudonym.
give you 4. Let's go with...
You got to give me 3, and then I'm going to go other, because I only get 4 choices.
So let's see. Steve Jobs. That's a good one, right?
Yep.
We can talk about him before we do them.
Yeah, I won't post.
Steve Jobs. What's that other guy's name?
We've got a vote for Nick Szabo.
Nick Szabo. What's his name?
Edmund is saying maybe
John
George.
John McAfee.
Oh yeah, I'll spell this wrong. Not only do I pronounce things incorrectly, but I spell them incorrectly too.
Well, Craig Wright. That's an interesting one, but I don't think so. Who else would be a third person? Or how about a government institution?
Let's go with it. Let's say a sovereign
Nation. Country.
Then we
What
got
about
to do
Bill
catch all
Gates?
other. You want to go Bill
Wouldn't it-
Gates instead?
Could be Bill Gates too. I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
Well, maybe he's sandbagging. He did just fall to the 5th richest person in the world, but maybe that's because nobody knows his cryptocurrency wallets.
yeah, yeah.
Tucker Carlson,
Tucker, yeah.
Julian Assange.
Julius, yeah.
We got a lot of potential.
What about the guy who did Minecraft? What's his name? That's a good one.
How about
Elon Musk. Yeah, that's another good one. Kim Jong-un.
we need like 20 spots for this. I'm just going with this one. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, some country, any country, unknown origin, or other. None of those guys.
I'm going with other on that one. I think almost everybody's going with other on that one.
Chris Dominator, welcome Mara to the
Hello.
moon.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, that guy Tim's not yelling at me by being.
Huh? Who's yelling at
Remember that guy Tim was all mad at me because I said that I think Marathon's going to go out of business.
you? Oh.
I didn't say it's going to happen overnight or anything.
Well, Chris Dominator is a well-established fan of Marathon. So, Marathon, he's saying Marathon is dominating.
Marathon. I don't think it got dominated. Do you think it was dominated? Oh, there's Tim. Hey, Tim. I don't think it was dominating this week.
Marathon, I'll tell you this, and you guys know, I'm not partial to Marathon any more than any of the other. Marathon mined 1,245 Bitcoin in the month of May. That was their all-time record by like 400 Bitcoin, and it was like 500 Bitcoin more than anybody else other than Core Scientific.
Well, that's nice. That's good to see, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they had a great month. There's no denying it. Maybe they'll have a bad month next month, and then, we can talk about that. But for now, I'm not going to pretend they didn't have a good month. 1,245 Bitcoin was crushing it.
Well, I would like to see Marathon get back over 2530 personally. And I mean, it could do it this summer.
I thought this was the summer of hell.
I said it could do it.
Yeah, it could.
I didn't say it will do it. I said it could do it. Right?
Tim said, you are wrong, but I love the fact that you have no idea what you are talking about, but you just say it.
That's awesome. That's my motto, by the way.
But he also said, I love you, George. So
I'm okay with all that. I'm okay with all that. My whole life, everybody has told me I've been wrong. And you know what?
They were wrong.
Yeah, they were wrong. I shouldn't say it like this, but I'm going to say it like this.
Don't say it. If anything you say, you shouldn't say.
No. For me, I view myself as super successful. For you, you might think I'm not. Does that make sense? But I am for me.
Well, that is it's definitely a relative term, and
right,
and
yeah.
That's the most important thing. Is what if you.
Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to people. I don't care really what anybody thinks of me.
Hopefully, everybody on this stream strives towards that feeling, and I hope everybody's either there or heading there. Let's all be successful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
trying to do
I don't,
here.
Success is right. I don't know what is, I mean,
everybody
do I have
has
all the money in the world? No.
Success.
No, and not only that, when you are down at Naples, Florida, and you see how much wealth there is, you just realize how you have none.
Yeah, that's a humbling experience. There's however much you have, somebody else. There's always somebody else with more.
There is definitely somebody else with more. Yes, definitely.
Crypto Golfer says, greetings from Vero Beach, Florida. Greetings.
Where? Oh, right above Stuart, Florida. Do you know where that is?
I know where that is. I don't know if I'm not pulling up the map.
It's right out on the other side.
I just lost my spot. Let's see.
Oh.
Oh, FV702 is saying Marathon's going to go to $60.
This summer?
And Tim is saying over 500 this month for Mara so far in June. So looking like they're on pace to get back over 1,000. I do think that June, it's going to be very tough in June for everybody to match their May numbers for two reasons. The Bitcoin mining difficulty level went up yet again, but more importantly, there was that week in May where the fees were through the roof. So all the Bitcoin miners got a really nice bonus in the month of May. So I am not going to judge them, apples to apples. I think it's going to be very tough for people to beat their May numbers. So just bear that in mind as June goes on. Unless they had a major increase in the amount of exahash they're running, it's going to be tough to beat their numbers. JD said, I just want to see Marathon hold above 10. Edmund said, Tom, what was Marathon's power cost? So per their last financial statements, they were still at around like $15,300 per coin. So that, other than Hut, and I kind of discount Hut's numbers, they're in flux, so I'm not sure they're meaningful. Other than that, Marathon was the most expensive per coin. So that's the bad news. But the flip side of that, I will say, the last 4 quarters in a row, that cost has gone down every quarter. So, yes, they're still more expensive, especially if you compare them to like a Cypher, who's, less than half that. But they do seem to be trending in the right direction. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in their next quarterly report. Number one, in their monthly production numbers, can they keep this level of production up? And number two, in doing so, can they continue to reduce their cost per coin? Even if they can get down to like 13.5 or something like that, that I think is going to be sustainable over the long term. Especially with the amount of Bitcoin that they mine. So everybody's got their own different formula. And none of these, there is no perfect Bitcoin mining company. Ray is saying, anyone here think Mara will reach $100 by 2025 cycle peak? So I'll answer first. Yes, I do.
Are you in Marathon or are you out right now?
I'm not even in Marathon right now, but I think they will hit $100.
Why aren't you in it?
I'm
That's a 10x.
I'm
2 years 10x.
I scaled back to a certain number, and I did not want to be in both Marathon and Riot. So I had to make a choice, which I made last year, and I chose Riot. Now, that doesn't mean that I will forever only be in Riot and never be in Marathon. I like Marathon. I just literally just said I think they're going to 10x in the next couple of years. But I think all the winners are going to 10x in the next couple of years. Doesn't mean everyone on this, I'm not saying every Bitcoin miner on the list is going to 10x. I think the winners will 10x at some point. And okay, 2025, 2026, I don't know if it's going to be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but those are the kind of numbers I'm looking for. And for some of these companies, for the small cap companies, I think there's 20x's, 30x's, 40x's out there. And for those of you who laugh at me when I say that, just remember the Bitcoin miners in the last bull run, all 40x'd. So it's not like it hasn't happened before. It does happen, and there's plenty of these. Look at a Stronghold at $23 million market cap. A 10x puts them at a $230 million market cap. They could be mining $1 billion in Bitcoin. Could be. Operative word. I'm just saying. There's an awful lot of room to the upside with microcap and nano cap stocks. But that's the risk reward, as we just relearned, probably most of us not for the first time, in a bear market or a crypto winter, it's brutal. You suffer the other side of the risk-reward equation. So you win some, you lose some. Hopefully you win long term. Hopefully you win a lot more than you lose.
I try to.
I think I'm caught up. FV702 said Bitfarms will 25x book it. So I happen to agree with that. I think Bitfarms has a lot more upside. They're at $1.17. So,
oh, Fort Myers. Wait, Florida man. I moved, so I'm not living. Well, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm up in Georgia now for the summer. And then we just, unfortunately, I had a gentleman that works for me named Greg that had some health issues yesterday at work. So I'm not going anywhere for a long time. I can't say there. We need to do another channel, Tom.
what is it?
What's it called? Life?
Life?
Yeah, because the stuff that I'll talk about is, nothing to do with miners. Then
Well, we
people
get
can
to
find
talk
out what a
about-
real Fruit Loop I am. Fruit Loop.
Yes, that will have to be on a different channel. That is not associated
Fruit
with our
Loop.
investing
Oh, nice.
conversation.
I tried to mine Bitcoin in Commerce, Georgia. We had the power worked out. That wasn't a problem. But when you do these deals, you have to go to the government first. Dude, the stuff I could tell you guys. And they dictate if you're going to do it or not, and you know how it gets done. Hopefully you guys know how it gets done.
Leon Stevenson, CleanSpark, the one, Organic Auto, and they are about to meet their expected exahash mid-year, which is now, so I think they will grow even more by the halving. I'm not sure who he was talking about, though. I think he may be talking about Marathon. Right, Marathon's looking to get to 23 exahash, and they're getting close. Michael Anthony, what happened to Beam in after hours? I didn't see after hours, but Beam's another one. In a separate account, I dollar cost averaged into Beam in a retirement account that I almost never ever do anything in. So,
behave, everybody. We have a girl watching. Behave.
What did Beam do after hours? Today was a buying. It was under $10 during the day, so I was able to buy in. I said if it got under 10 again, I was going to do it. So
did it?
Yeah, I mean I was closed at 994 and now it's down to 971. To me, this is crazy oversold. We won't get deep into this. I've done a few videos on this over time. I still like this stock. I still intend to continue to dollar cost average into this stock. I think this is a winner long term. Just don't know when long term is because, as we've talked about, the market can be irrational for long periods of time.
Beam Global Award Gold Company of the Year in Stevie 2023 American Business Award. And so they get hammered.
Yeah, see, that's how cool. Well, the cryptocurrencies, I got a little bit of, sorry, not the cryptocurrencies, the EV stocks. I have a partial watch list right here in TradingView on this. So I want to show a couple of these because there was some stunning activity in these today. So they ended up mostly red. But if you go to... So this is on the 1 day.
You guys are so funny.
So in the last 2 days, from bottom to top, Lordstown Motors, stock ticker RIDE, was up 121% in 2 days. So the stuff that happens in these stocks is just crazy. But you can see now if you were the unfortunate soul And somebody was who bought shares here at, $6.80. It closed the day down almost 40% from that. So this was a wild ride. Right? This stock traded as low as $4.11 and as high as $6.76 today. And if you look at the 2 days, this was a $3 stock 2 days ago. So some of these companies had wild Workhorse, had some wild action over the last few days. This is a little bit longer period of time, but from the bottom of the top, well, that's only 40%.
I just realized what we didn't talk about. Didn't Core come up with their restructuring plan?
I did not see that. Somebody was talking about Friday being the day, so let's take a look into that. Look at Nikola.
Nikola.
So if you go back to June 6th, from the bottom to the top, this is a 244% run in 10 days for a company that's, from my perspective, I don't know what the value is there. Let's just say that. And you can see, today, all of a sudden, this was off to the races, and then boom, it crashes. This is a big move for one day. This finished down 15%, but at one point today, this was up 22%. So how do you go from up 22% to down 15%, all in the same day? I mean, these stocks are going bananas. So this is another area, and that's why I have this watch list, and there's actually a lot more than just this on this list. These are very, very volatile stocks, which brings me all the way back around to the fact that Beam, and my head might be blocking, it's lower down the list. Let's see if you can see it now. Yeah. So, Beam went under $10 today. It was down 5% today. I mean, I think this stock is, it got as low as $8.51 back in May, but this was like a $70 stock, and I'm not saying it belongs at 70, or it might belong at more than 70. Who knows? Anyway, this is one that I like, and I mention from time to time. Not financial advice. Bernoulli Fish, George, I have a house in Jupiter, but I'm renting in Texas to mine Bitcoin right now. So I'm not there either. I got some relatives in Jupiter.
I see the prices just go up and up and up in Florida, and I don't know. I think I should sell, but it's like, I don't know. Where are you going? You know what I mean?
Right.
Where are you going to put the money in where are you going to put your money in the bank?
That's the hard part.
Have you changed your mind about a collapse in the banking system, Tom?
Well, where do you think my mind was on that?
You said that it was impossible. You said no. You said it was a 2% chance of a total collapse.
I think that they will not allow a collapse in. So if you're talking about JP Morgan, if you're talking about Bank of America, if you're talking about Wells Fargo, if you're the banking system, in my opinion, there's almost no chance that it will fail anytime soon. That's a catastrophic scenario in the literal sense that, that's going to be a world famine type of scenario. But having said that, I do think they run a very big risk with these rate hikes of having a lot of the regional mid-sized banks running into a problem. We already had 3 of the 4 largest bank failures in history this year, and they just talked about 2 rate hikes. The market did not believe them. The futures said the market does not believe that. We'll look at that in 1 minute. If they do 2 rate hikes, I would see bad things ahead for the market, for the banking system. I think more banks, more small to mid-sized banks would fail in that scenario. But a total collapse, I think they'll do whatever it takes to avoid that.
How
we have
about
an
this?
awful lot of ways to avoid it.
Do you think currency could be different in, let's say, 2 years from now?
I don't think anything's going to happen that fast.
Okay.
I think, the death of the U.S. dollar has been vastly exaggerated. In fact, it's pretty much at its strongest, and it has been for a year and a half at all-time highs. So, in fact, I have an article here. Let's see if I'm logged in on this machine and I can actually read it.
Hey, I might be stupid, but I keep the conversation going.
That's a big part of it. A bank China built to challenge the dollar now needs the dollar. So this was an article today in the Wall Street Journal. So I always try and pick a few topics of the day. How Russia's war in Ukraine paralyzed the BRICS. So George has talked a lot about BRICS, the BRICS new development bank.
You know what is funny is when I started talking about BRICS, you guys didn't even remember. You didn't even know it, but remember?
That you did not get much reaction from your BRICS conversation. That is true.
Yes, you guys.
So a development bank China launched with its fellow BRICS countries was supposed to reshape international finance. Russia's, and again, I'm not saying there are things in this that may be viewed as political. We are not having a political conversation in any way, shape, or form. This is a financial conversation.
This is nothing as politics.
So Russia's invasion of the Ukraine now risks turning it into a zombie bank. So this is literally the picture of the bank. If you guys can see this, they built this monstrosity that was going to be the next big thing.
What the heck is this?
8 years after Chinese leader Xi Jinping, pardon my pronunciation, and his counterparts from Brazil, Russia, India, and South Africa, aka BRICS, established the new development bank with headquarters in swanky Shanghai skyscraper. It has all but stopped making new loans and is having trouble raising dollar funds to repay its debts, according to an examination of its finances and interviews with bankers and others familiar with the matter. So I won't read the rest of this whole article, but just going to my point that, everybody's saying the U.S. dollar's done for, and, there's going to be some other thing that becomes the world currency. And I'm not saying the U.S. dollar will be the world currency forever. I do happen to live in the United States, and this is not a U.S. thing. It's just that is what the standard is right now. Bitcoin is so far away from taking that spot. That is a distant, and I'm a huge Bitcoin bull. So, nothing against Bitcoin, but,
I'm a dog.
It's their market. Bitcoin's market cap isn't even $1 trillion. It's nothing compared to even gold. So, it's a long way from taking over. And, these types of banks here, the whole BRICS situation is not working out exactly to plan, I guess is what I would say. So for the time being, I think we're stuck with things being the way they are. That's just my opinion. So enough of that. Let's take a look at the CME futures and how they're pricing in potential rate hikes, because the Fed said, they really leaned into, potentially two more rate hikes. And, if you look at their little dot plot chart, essentially the majority of people thought at least two more. The majority of Fed members thought two more rate hikes. So if we look at the next meeting, which is in a month and a half, not even, July 26th, right now the futures are pricing in a 74% chance of a rate hike. Wow. And a 25% chance of another pause. So it looks like the market believes one rate hike. But here's what I think is interesting. If you go to September, here we are again at 525 to 550 basis points. So that would still be a total of one rate hike. So even two meetings from now, 67% of the market thinks we will have between those two meetings just one rate hike. And 21% of the people think we're going to have no rate hikes in both of those meetings. Only 11% are buying this 2 rate hike scenario. And I'm going to go out to November and show you that still, by November, we're down to 3%. So even the people that believed there would be 2 rate hikes think they'll be lowering rates by then. So the world did not believe Jerome Powell and his friends that they're going to raise rates 2 more times. At least they don't believe them as of right now.
Tom, 2 more to go. And we're hit 100 likes.
Oh, nice. Thank
We're
you,
back,
everybody.
baby.
Much appreciated for the likes. So smash the like button. We're almost at the finish line to 200 likes.
Did you ever watch Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
And where the points don't matter, but the likes do.
DEFCON 2 said, I Garapilla, you have no clue how consistent CleanSpark is. So, DEFCON 2 likes CleanSpark. What did Gary say?
Woohoo! We did it.
We got there?
We did it.
Much thanks.
Oh, wait. Someone took it back. It was Edmund.
Haha. Gary said, Mara is impossible to predict. Some days they mine 1 block, others 10 blocks. That is true. I mean, they fluctuate a lot. CleanSpark, almost the same daily. CleanSpark, nearly 100% efficient. Mara, most inconsistent miner by far, so hardest to predict.
I took mine away, too.
Huh? What?
No.
You took away your like?
Yeah, we're all taking them away.
We're gonna finish at 99, 98. According to me, we're moving in the wrong direction.
Oh God. Isn't it good to laugh, guys? I hope it is. I love it.
MinerDoc, at MinerDoc, seriously undervalued. $8 by August. That's from FV702. Ryan said CleanSpark is immensely undervalued. It's sickening. So, I mean, I everybody who's saying good things about CleanSpark, I mean, I agree. I bought some CleanSpark today. So, I'm on the same page.
Did you get it under did you get under 4?
Yeah, under $4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and my basis is even that's one of the few stocks I'm actually in the green on, but I'm still dollar cost averaging in when the opportunities present itself. So
look at that. I have an English humor. You want to know where my humor came from? I'll sing the song and maybe you know. It goes like this.
I got nothing.
Benny.
Oh, the Benny Hill show?
Yes, he was English. Did you not know that?
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody who's seen the Benny Hill show.
I want to bring that show back. I want to make it and even dedicate it to his name.
Okay, we got a comment. DARPA likely created Bitcoin.
Interesting. Who's DARPA?
Who's DARPA? It's classified.
You know or no?
Yeah, CleanSpark 9 exahash by the end of June. So that's what they are saying. I want to see what their production is. So anybody who's watching their wallet, I haven't looked in a while. If you know where they're at, is their production up? Because, you know, they were talking about getting to their path to 9. So they kind of have 2 breaking points. They've been at 6.7 for a long time. And then, you know, they got the machine set up to get to 9. And then, you know, it's going to take a while from 9. They intend to get to 16 by the end of the year. So, but I do think that, you know, there's going to be, it's been slow. It's been slow for a few months. They've been a little sideways. So I know some people got mad at me when I said that, but I mean, I think 3 or 4 months in a row, they announced 6.7 exahash. So, you know, but they, you know, things happen when they happen. They've purchased all the machines to get past 16 exahash. So confidence is high. They will get there by the end of the year. if they're at 9 by the end of June, then I would expect them to mine a lot more in June than they did in May, because they ended May at 6.7. So I hope that that is true, Miner Doc. That would be great news.
I'm walking in circles. There's one thing good about not being on camera. I don't need to sit. I'm walking.
Gary saying Marathon's been selling more the last few days than they are producing. We'll see at the end of the month. Tim is saying CleanSpark's production is down. So we're going to have to see. Edmund is saying Sebastian likes CleanSpark and Iris numbers 1 and 2, both to 7 or 8x in the next year. So those happen to be the two that I bought today. So those I do like. I think there's several that are very undervalued in my opinion. I did buy CleanSpark and Iris Energy today. I've been dollar cost averaging in for. I just opened my Iris Energy position in 2023, so most of my dollar cost averaging has been there this year because of the fact that it had a lot of catching up to do to my other positions. But CleanSpark, I've been holding for a long, long time, and I've been diligently dollar cost averaging into that one to the point where I'm in the green, unlike Bitfarms and several others that I still have not gotten back to zero yet on. But I'm not worried because, like we talked about earlier, Bitfarms is at $1. I don't think that $1 is their long-term price target. Some number,
Wow.
many, many multiples higher than that is my personal price target for.
I hope Riot. Gary, I was just looking at the coins at mine for the first 60 days. Hope Riot doesn't have a problem this month. CleanSpark's right on their tail. That's crazy.
CleanSpark. It's somebody, and it may be one of you on the stream, so let me know. Somebody kind of got on me. In my monthly update, I said that CleanSpark would pass Riot by the end of the year. Because I believe that. That's according to both of their plans. Also, CleanSpark's a much more efficient miner. And remember, Riot's one of my biggest positions. So is CleanSpark. So, I'm arguing against two of my three largest positions. I think CleanSpark will pass Riot in production, but somebody was very mad at that because they said the end of the year you're crazy. They're going to pass them this month. So let me know. Is that going to happen?
Are you going to talk about that news or no? I'll give a little tidbit.
I don't. What news?
Okay, good cover.
CleanSpark installing 8 exahash of Bitmain S19 XPs between now and the end of the year. Their cost to mine should decrease. That's from MinerDoc. So yeah, that's why I'm so bullish on CleanSpark. And if they're going to keep giving me opportunities like today, I'm going to keep dollar cost averaging in. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm with you, MinerDoc. I see their plan. They have done what they say they're going to do. They're a company that over the last several years, they've done exactly what they said they were going to do. And in some cases, they've done more than they said they were going to do. And we know a lot of examples, without mentioning any names, of other Bitcoin mining companies that have done the opposite. And to be fair, it's been an unbelievably difficult environment. We just went through a crypto winter. So the fact that CleanSpark was able to hit all their targets all the way through a crypto winter leads me to believe they're going to hit their targets again. So
you got to admit that CleanSpark, they came in late, really. They were not in the beginning. I mean, they came in late, and it seems to me that they have more of a Cinderella story than anybody else.
I think CleanSpark's execution for the last year and a half has just been stellar. Right. So, their balance sheet does not look like Riot's balance sheet or Marathon's balance sheet. They've had to do it, they've had to do this a different way, but they
had to earn it.
But I think I like what they've done. There are just as many people that disagree with me. the two big hits that they take, there's a, there was months long conversation. Oh, they pay themselves too much money. So some of you on the stream right now may feel that way about them. I'm not concerned about that. It's almost all in shares. So, if they succeed, we succeed, and vice versa. So I'm okay with that, but I know that bothers a lot of people. And the other thing is stock dilution. So, yes, they've had to do some stock dilution, and they will continue to do so. But they also are going to go from 2 exahash at the beginning of last year to 16 exahash at the end of this year if they're stay on their plan. So, that's monumental growth. So that money's got to come from somewhere.
I got to sneak out, guys.
All right, George, thanks. Thanks for being
Peace
here.
out.
Have a great long weekend.
Peace, everyone. Had fun. Obili.
Thanks, George.
Obili. See ya.
Gary Pallett, thank you. Gary said, that was me. They will pass this month in my view. So, Gary, I didn't mean to. So, when I said they'll pass them by the end of the year, you might be right. They might pass them this month. So I'm not sure when they're going to pass them. I'm a little more conservative than that. I know they've bought the machines. I know the machines are being delivered. They intend to have them installed and up and running. But I always try to give like a 90-day cushion. So you might be right. They may get there this month or next month. But my point was by the end of the year, I don't think it's going to be close because I think Riot is still talking about 12.5 exahash. I think by then CleanSpark will long since have been at 16 exahash. And remember, they've every single month for the past 15 months, CleanSpark has been a much more efficient miner than Riot. So not only will they have more exahash, but they're mining more Bitcoin per exahash. So I think we're on the same page. I think you just think they're going to get there a little faster than I do. And I don't disagree with that. I'm just giving them a little extra time. Miner Doc is saying, why hasn't Riot ordered more machines? So I don't know. I think we're about to hear sometime, and I don't know if it's 60 days from now or 90 days from now, but they are due for telling us what's next. Because, for the last 12 months, they've been talking about a plan. They're now basically at the end of that plan. They had to push it off a little, they say, due to some storm damage. So I do think they're due, if not overdue, for letting us know, hey, okay, 12.5 exahash, what's next? They've got the facility lined up. To go, to double easily, right? They have another facility in Texas they haven't even started that's bigger than the one they're in right now. So, there could be a lot of growth ahead. It's just they haven't even started it yet. So I don't think it's going to happen by the end of this year. And they have a very strong balance sheet. So we'll see. I'm trying to follow the chat, but I'm getting lost inside of it. Oh, Organic Auto, Miner Doc, that's my whole gripe with Riot. I want to know where they will continue to grow. So, right, they really haven't... They fixated on, we're getting to 12.5 exahash. They really haven't talked about anything past that, other than the fact that they've shown, they've got, I think, a gigawatt facility that they're looking to build in Texas next. So, that's room for monumental growth, but they put no time frame on that. They've ordered no machines for that. And if it was me, and I know they have given no indication that they're going to do this, so this is my pure own opinion. I would take the 300 megawatts that they've allocated to hosting and get rid of it and put their own machines right there where they got, at the infrastructure already built. So I don't know. They may have obligations that don't allow them to do that, or they may have some other line of reasoning where they're diversifying their revenue and their risk. I don't know. That's what I would do if I was them. Sour Melon Gaming said, basically everyone in the chat is a member. Love to see it. Yes, thank you, everybody. You're right. We have a lot of members on the chat, and we did have a very good turnout today. So thank you so much to all the existing members. If you haven't seen the, I put a couple of videos out yesterday. So if you haven't seen those yet, one was members only, a little extra members only video because I wanted to do a breakdown on what the Fed did and what I think is coming there. So if you haven't seen that, you can check it out. Also, I did go through a scenario of what's going on with Bitcoin. So I went through a pretty comprehensive, usually I talk more about Bitcoin miners, but I did do a breakdown on the technicals on Bitcoin itself to see, where we might be going and, if this happens, then that. So you can check those out if you haven't seen them yet. So thanks to everybody who has been watching. Bitcoin rules. Do you have set timing for dollar cost averaging? So Bitcoin rules, I do not have set timing. So I guess technically, if you were to look up the definition, I'm not doing the actual precise definition of dollar cost averaging, which would just be investing regular amounts at regular intervals. I look more for opportunities, so I continue to add to my positions, but I'm more opportunistic, if you will, depending on what's going on. So I use my judgment a little bit on that, but I am trying to regularly buy in, but I don't jump at every single little dip. There's sometimes I'll go a week without buying anything, or, sometimes I'll, 2 or 3 days I'll buy because opportunities present themselves. But I don't like to just keep, if something's, and we've been doing this, we've been very sideways. So if something keeps moving between the same two numbers, I don't like to just keep buying every time it dips because I already bought that dip. I may have already bought it 2 times or 3 times. So, true dollar cost averaging would tell me doesn't matter. You keep buying it. Every Thursday at 1 o'clock or whatever my time and place is, you buy your 100 shares or whatever the case may be. So I'm more subjective. I think most people are more subjective. I don't know how many people are stick to the rigorous schedule of exact dollar cost averaging. Organic Auto is saying, I don't understand how that building is not back online yet, the one that was storm damaged. So, yes, that's one of my couple of question marks that I have with them is, somebody, and it may have been you, left a comment on one of my videos. It's like, it's taking him longer to fix that building than it took him to build the building. So, that doesn't exactly make a lot of sense. Seth says hello from South Carolina. Hello, Seth. I don't know if you just joined us. You just missed George. He just left. But welcome to the stream. Trey is asking, can you look at NGL? So I guess Paul Pelosi and Mark Green just loaded up on the stock. I don't know what that stock is. Let's see. Would be nice if you did a deep dive into DMG. Seems like a well-run little micro cap. So yeah, there's 3 or 4 or 5 of these that are even actually technically even smaller than micro caps, and just nano cap is even less than a micro cap. And I think these are, and I'm not trying to correct you. I literally just only know this because I was doing a deep dive on one of these and it said it's a nano cap stock, so I looked it up. So, yeah, there's a bunch of these small stocks, whatever you want to call them, that are, under $50 million that are Bitcoin miners. Somebody just sent me one that I had never even heard of, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but that was in the comment I got yesterday. So I did add it to my list, but I'm not remembering it off the top of my head there. And those are, so I don't know. Maybe we can put that in, see if the members are interested in a deep dive on that. I know the world is not that interested in that. I like them. I don't own any DMG. DMG DigiHost I did own for a period of time, which is a different company. So in the US, that's traded over the counter as DMGGF. So they were up 8% today. But you can see this is a $35 million company. It's a very small company. They mine less than 100 Bitcoin a month. So, you know, there's a bunch of companies like this that, you know, so this is why I'm saying, like, you know, how hard would it be for this to 10x? Forget 10x. How about 3x, right? They'd still be only a $100 million company if they 3x'd. So these are reasonable possibilities. All right, I feel like I caught all the way up, so it's actually time for me to wrap it up. So, so thank you everybody very much. So, as I learned earlier in this very live stream, Monday is a holiday and a day off from trading. So I didn't know it was a day off from trading. So I was asleep at the wheel on that one. So in the U.S., the markets are closed on Monday, so we have a 3-day weekend. I will definitely be putting out some videos over the weekend. So by the time we have our members-only live stream next Tuesday, that will have been the only day of trading in between now and then. So let's see, go Bitcoin. Let's just take a look at our final poll. Other, 81% said other on who invented Bitcoin. And the great thing about that poll is we absolutely will never know what the answer to it was. So nobody's right and nobody's wrong. So, all right, thanks again. Thanks again. Special thanks to the super chats. Very much appreciated. And special thanks to all the members and subscribers. And so 3-day weekend. Everybody have a great weekend. Try to enjoy. And again, I'll try and put out some videos this weekend, both for everybody and the members only. So thanks again. Enjoy your weekend.